debate today. I'm not a Jew, I have no Romani or traveller heritage. As far as I know, my family didn't lose anybody in the Holocaust, but I still felt compelled to speak today. Anti-Semitism is on the rise, as is racism and homophobia and xenophobia, and it seems to me that we have to be careful not to repeat the past mistakes. It's hard to speak of the Holocaust simply because it was such a shameless and industrial scale, systematic perversion. And my father was a cook in the RAF, and he was based in Gütersloh in the summer of 1945. And it was 78 years ago this month that Auschwitz was liberated by the Allies. And my father met servicemen and women, servicemen who had been part of the liberation of concentration camps. And he said they were in a state of disbelief and distress and shock at the sights that they had seen, and they could barely talk about them. It was so horrific. And as we've heard already, Germany was a nation known for its cultural richness, a country that produced intellectuals, and yet they conceived and operated a system of slavery and murder in the most horrific and distorted way. I don't want to be a bystander. I see that we have problems here in Britain and globally in all kinds of hatred, and I want to speak up about them. The Holocaust was a brutal manifestation of ethno-nationalism, a form of identity politics built on normative and biological difference, and we have to ensure that it must forever exist as an exceptional event. Yet only last year, our security services warned of the sharp rise in far-right extremism here in Britain. The far right in Britain shares some clear common political logics that underpinned 1930s Nazism. Professors Mitchelson and De Orellana of King's College London, who are experts in international relations and nationalism, have demonstrated in their latest research that we are witnessing a resurgence of nationalist ideas globally, driven by online social media networks, and it fosters the same violent identity politics which enabled the Holocaust to happen. Now, if we understand that the Holocaust must be an historical, appalling exception never to be repeated, we have to watch for socially unhealthy indicators. And we had just last year a young teenager commit suicide in a care home. She had been radicalized by a network of online far-right extremists from America, and she'd been charged with terror offences. The resurgence of global far-right networks poses a continuous and dangerous threat, and we must endeavour to challenge racism and hold those who perpetuate racism online to account. My Lords, today is a day where we remember the victims of the Holocaust, and we must never forget.
My Lords, we have heard some very impressive speeches, and this will not be one.